Think you guys rating? Uh, I'd never done this thing before. So look to you do not know who I am. My name is Dosh Maniwo. I understand it for me here. Yeah, thank you, thank you. And I see a couple of familiar faces here. Right, you guys looking nicer than you do on your Instagram pages. Arita, you look so much better. Even with the filters, like now you look better now without filters. You chose me. Well, that you chose it. Yeah, that you chose it. Thank you guys for being here. So as I said, my name is Dosh Mazebos, and there's this thing that we're working on, and I'm the coach of this whole thing that's going to be revealed soon, right? Uh, it's brought to you by Anna Serves, right? Which is quite a good thing because Savannah has been serving the comedy community since for decades. You know, they give us structure, you know, and so there's no brand that I know that has helped comedy thrive as much as Savannah has, right? So this is part of what they continue to do to serve us. So without wasting any more time, as the coach, I am known as Coach Joe Maslow. All right. And without wasting any more time, I'm gonna bring on my captain and my vice captain. Captain, vice captain, come in here, please. Captain and vice captain. And if then you guys will with questions, we'll do the question things later. But my captain and my vice captain will address you a bit, and then after that we'll take credit. And Mohan, please make sure you get my good side. Don't just serve. Yeah, this is the side, my boy. Take it away, Cap. Good morning, Samuel. Thank you so much, Coach. Really excited to be here with you. You know, it's an honor to be working with somebody who has your track record, true professionalism, and other things. Uh, it's my honor today to be joined by these fine gentlemen to be announcing something that has taken us a while to put together with the fantastic team and Savannah. We have been able to put together Bafunny Bafunny, National Comedy Festival, a festival of comedy. And what we're going to be doing is going around the country with some of South Africa's finest talent, putting on a show in a country that needs to laugh at a time when the world needs to laugh, and trying to get comedy back up and running again to where it was pre-COVID. If you remember those days, yeah, COVID, yeah, I remember those days. I know that you coughed on here and I didn't say anything, but we'll forget about that. But yeah, it's a really exciting journey for us. You know, I think South African comedy has seen itself grow over the years. We've seen amazing comedians in some parts of the country. There's a burgeoning scene that's really robust, and we're trying to make sure that that happens all over the country, not just in one part. So with my two compadres over here, we're excited to be embarking on this journey, and I'll leave it over to our vice captain to announce the current squad or the lineup as we see it for Bafunny Bafunny. UG?
Yeah, well, that's a call sign for corruption. Savannah will be serving comedy all over the country starting from the 5th of September.
5th of September.
In Pretoria.
That's right.
Mr. Sunbeta River.
Sometimes.
That's where we'll be. And then obviously, we love comedy too much. We think comedy, we talk comedy, we dream comedy. And then obviously the line now has to reflect how we feel about comedy. We wanted the audiences in their thousands to feel what it feels like to be in a small room of funny people. So we decided to assemble this squad for the country. And then first up on the squad is a very funny female comedian all the way from Cape Town, Lindsay Johnson. Followed by a very funny comedian from Mpumalanga. I don't know how he got this far. because that toll gate should have been a hint that he's leaving his country, and then he came to Johannesburg to seek comedy and fame. Thabiso Mhlomo. Then there's a special young man who has a bright future in comedy, who's doing very well, who I think you guys would enjoy. His name is Punch Kasela. Okay. And then lastly, another funny female comedian who's been winning awards and sweeping the country up, taking the country by storm. Her name is Mbali Kudazi. Hey. So that's the team that the coach has assembled. Coach, I mean, you can take
And who's our premium sponsor?
our premium sponsor. Who's serving
Premium
this-
side.
Exactly. But what I see, hey, this is funny, no? Coach, look behind you.
I just need to make sure. Some people, you don't know if they're blind people here. You can come with me.
You cater to everyone. I love it. No, I love it. I love it.
Guys, are there any of you who have any questions? And let's not do the shouting thing like we in the United States. Because that's one person at a time and then we keep it going. Now I prepare this one. Yeah, don't tell me what. This might be your whole
Trying to coach the coach.
Imagine voting the
Trying to coach the coach.
I've been an excellent mic controller for 22 years. And you needed me another microphone for some. So any questions? Who'll take questions now?
Okay, well, my morning. I'm Lindy Dube. This one is for you, Coach Ndosh. First of all, shout out to you and the brand for including women in your team. We love that. Number two, just talk us through the team selection, Coach. How did you come up with your starting lineup? How did you select, your team?
Yeah, well, I had to go with one of the best comedians we've ever had in the country. That's Trevor Noah, right?
I thought you were going to say Eugene. Hey, I was supposed to say you were going to say Eugene.
Then they said, Coach.
Okay, sorry, coach. Sorry, coach.
Why I had to get Trevor and I had to get Eugene because Eugene eats, lives, sleeps, and breathes comedy. And I needed to choose the younger people. Right? And Bali, and I don't mind this thing choosing female comedians. I don't have that. Comedians are comedians.
Yeah.
Funny is funny. I don't have female, I don't have male. We picked the best people who've been working consistently hard. Yeah. And the young ones, which is Punch, Thabiso Mhlomo. Even though with this PNC thing, I don't really like him anymore. I think I'm a Jugo Mbali Putasi, Punch Kasela, but these are the best four people that I thought of. I thought these are the guys that we need to take out there. These are the guys we need to introduce to the South African market more in terms of their standard.
Yeah.
Because everything else that they're doing started because of stand-up.
Yeah. Yes, my lady.
Morning.
Good morning.
I just wanted to find out, will there be any international acts part of the
Who
program?
are you finding out this one from the coach or the captain?
Let's talk the camp.
See, of course, you want to need to.
Will there be any international acts being added to the lineup?
So currently we're starting off with 5 shows in 3 cities, and this is our initial starting lineup. So what we're looking at is creating a show that has the opportunity to grow as it needs to grow.
Yeah.
But one of the main things we wanted to focus on is getting South Africans used to the idea that the funniest comedians are in this country. Do you know what I mean? I think in South Africa, sometimes we only assign value to something when it has an international touch to it. And that's when we think that it deserves more respect, you know? So when it's Matosa, we like, it's okay. As soon as we see it in Paris, now we have more respect for it. But it was here, guys. When Black Coffee was DJing here, it was okay. But then when he's in Ibiza now, we say, no, Black Coffee is the best. But he was the best when he was here, guys. So we want to do the same thing with our comedians. You know what I mean? The first thing we want to announce is our comedians, who are some of the best comedians, some of the funniest comedians, because that's what South Africans are. So we don't necessarily need somebody from the outside to come and validate this. In time, as it goes, we're always welcome. We're always welcome. But it's Bafunny Bafunny. If you're part of this national team, it means you must be part of this nation. Yeah, one. That's how we are doing it.
So that's the national.
Yeah, that's national.
So to add to what the captain is saying, yes, we will be happy.
But this is a question for the coach. That is the captain.
I'm happy to what the captain answers first.
Yes, that coach.
So, so we will be happy of international acts, probably too, but not international acts that you know. International acts that are very good when it comes to the grinding at cup. Maybe let's say New York or in London. That's where we're looking at, not international acts that you know.
So obviously the coach will organize with Home Affairs for them to become citizens for the festival.
Yes.
But national.
That's the first thing. If anything, those will be international friendlies, as we call them. Yes. But the first and most important thing is getting our talent out there, growing the talent again. Because people forget that we really had a burgeoning comedy scene here, you know, and then you live, I think, quite a lot of. And then quite about there would have really struggles, and that's my build personally. Yeah, is to try and get just to try and create like a platform for young comedians to find themselves not just working but enjoying themselves, sustaining themselves in the industry, not just part of comedy but as the arts in South Africa, which we need to keep going.
Any more questions?
Yes. I'm Zabile CTO from 947. I wanted to find out this lineup, is this a standard lineup for the entire tour throughout the country? And then number two, with this being a tour that has so many different comedians who focus on different styles and types of comedy, are there certain topics that you guys are maybe focusing on with amplifying, you know, us laughing as a country?
I love those questions. That person is serious about life.
I love it so big, GC.
No, I love it. So I'll answer the first one. My vice captain, I'll leave for the second part of the question. So for the first part of the question, the reason I love it is because you seem like you were ahead of us. Just like announcing most national teams, we are announcing the preliminary squad. You know, so this is like us saying to you, this is the launch squad. But then as we go and as we grow now, we're going to slowly be rolling out. I think that's what they call it in professional settings. They say the rollout will continue. So we're going to be rolling out more and more people because South Africa is a diverse country, right? So we're going to look at comedians from all of the places that we are performing to also inform how we're lining up and who we're going to be putting out there. You know, depending on the day, you pick a squad that works better for the game that you're planning for. And that's what we're going to be doing. So no matter where the show goes in the country, we want the show to keep its identity, but also embrace the identity of the place that we're visiting as well. So yes, that I hope answers your question.
Yeah, and I think identity is very important for comedians because I think over time, comics in South Africa started wanting to be like each other. So the voices start going away, the dialects start going away, the languages start going away, and we were championing that. When we first started comedy, we wanted to bring Vanek phrases, and we were accustomed to audiences nationwide, obviously internationally as well. So with this tour, we have to understand that if an arena has 5,000, 6,000, 8,000 people, someone somewhere out there must be represented. They must hear themselves. They must hear the situation that they come from. So there'll be no restriction as to what language a comedian can speak, what punchline they can deliver what language they can deliver their punchline, as long as they're comfortable and they're getting the laughs. That's what it's all about. But we want it to be all inclusive because we don't live in a country where people speak the same language and laugh at the same things. When our secretary saw yesterday that the worst thing that you can do when you perform to a crowd that big is try to win them over. You must just try to make them laugh, and that's all you can do. You know, the rest will follow. So we want the audiences to experience the kind of conversations we have backstage or in the car, and that they must feel what we feel and what comedy is about. But it's basically a renaissance of South African comedy. We want to remind ourselves as well of what it used to be like and what it could be as well.
And expose you to something that you didn't think was for you. Yeah, I think that's my favorite thing about it. You know, we all live in a world where we think we know what we really want. But when you get exposed to something that you didn't know you loved, that's when the magic really begins. And that's what our goal is going to be, to expose audiences to comedians that they didn't know that they loved already.
Next question. This lady here in the front who's been...
Oh, but they didn't give her a mic. Sorry. Now we're making sure it's coming soon. Oh, she's been trying to. I know we got you. Don't worry.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Mikey Malawa from EWN. Question. I think I have three. So what?
Wow.
Okay. So first,
I like how you still continue. Yeah, anyway. Let it go low, but you know what it tell me and then
okay. The first is you said 3 cities, and I heard you mention Pretoria as a start on the 5th of September. Curious to know which other cities are going to be included. Will William Bobo feature at some point? Or
the cities.
I go. But I mean other provinces, right?
You're on Limpopo City. In now they don't focus. We're on Limpopo City right now.
Right, but
Utashuma na in Limpopo City.
I think the first one will be probably Pretoria, Cape Town, and Durban.
okay. Thank you.
Main ones.
Main metros basically, eh? Main metros.
All right.
Main metros.
And then I also heard you mention that you'll be rolling out other people. So because this will be coming out on the 27th and the show starts in September, will you guys be accepting entries, or what does it look like for someone who's aspiring to be on the stage? How can they give you as attention? Last question. You said that you're also trying to incorporate other forms of comedy. I'm just curious to know, consider that we mostly consume comedy and I know it's stand-up, but we also consume comedy digitally. And will other digital content creators or comedians in their own right be welcome to join? Hence my first question.
I think so. You're saying, are we going to have the clouds? So I think to answer the second part of your question, we're not going to be doing like a search. That's not what this is. I think there are many comedians who have been doing really well, who, as the coach have said, have been working really hard, have been fantastic performers, and they haven't been given the platform.
Yeah.
So our goal is to use the opportunity we have teaming up with Savannah, who are serving you some of the finest comedians that you may not even know about yet. So we also respect the platform. If you come to the show, if anyone comes to the show, they're not going to be like auditioning somebody. That's not the case. If anything, you as the audience, you must be the one that must prepare yourself. We're not sure about you. Comedians we're sure about. So the comedians who are not going to be searched for. We're always on the lookout. As Ntosh says, I mean, we know who's in the clubs, who's working where, who's doing what, who's trying their thing. We have a good I think understanding of that. And so it's not a talent search in any way, shape, or form. I think the ground scene of comedy does the work of searching for talent.
Yeah.
And so every single comedian who's there is somebody who's worked to be there. With regards to the second part, I could even answer it. Like, you could? No, I think we're looking at different ways to create a show, but we love stand-up comedy. You get what I'm saying? And in the same way, we wouldn't force a digital creator to make their thing stand-up comedy when we go to their platforms. We also are not going to abandon our principles because that may or may not be popular at a time or not at a time. If anyone has been to a physical comedy show in person that is good, you'll know that there's nothing like it. The same way, when I watch a digital creator that makes me laugh, there's nothing like it. Yeah. But when I'm watching them on my phone, I wouldn't expect them to create the same environment that I get when I'm with people. And when I'm with people, I don't wish that this thing was on my phone. So what we're going to get to is a grand scale of stand-up comedy that leaves you laughing until you cannot breathe. And then you will walk out of that building and you'll go like, wow, what a night.
Yeah.
That was one hell of a night. I discovered new comedians. Yeah. I enjoyed old comedians, but I had an amazing time.
Yeah. And I think to add to that, obviously through the digital era, we experienced that people do funny things online and obviously in a comedic manner, but stand-up comedy is an art on its own. And I think stand-up comedy deserves to get the respect that it needs, right? You stand there with a microphone, no one behind you, no retakes, no proper lighting, no edits, no likes. The laughter is the likes. You feed it live. So I think I want people to feel what it felt like before stand-up comedy had to abruptly stop because of COVID, obviously because of other issues, but we want the feeling of stand-up back. want audiences to go, I don't know what's on the menu. It's a la carte. I hear there's gonna be prawns there. There's gonna be whatever. I'm just going there, and they just get served. They don't look at likes first and go, oh, this video is about this and that.
Yeah.
So there's sometimes of element of stand-up comedy is gonna come back.
Yeah, and the fact that you are part of it. Yeah, no, that's the one thing that like online, the gift and the curse is that you are a passive consumer, but your laugh doesn't define anything. You know, the video happens without your laughter. The video happens so you can silently consume this thing. When you're in a room together with a comedian, you are part of the show. The show is organically living with you. That's where all great comedians, I mean, some of them that I've worked with right here next to me, the show will change while it's happening on the fly. And any great comedian will tell you that's what a live comedy show gives you that digital comedy never can. And that's what we're excited to serve out. Obviously with our partners, Savannah. See what I did there, coach? I did something to work.
No, good getting yes. They leave, Brent.
Yeah, I think they've asked all my questions.
So we took so long to get you.
Exactly, I've been, you know. But my name is Istocha Shababe. I'm the art reporter at the Mail and Guardian. I just wanted to find out, Uti, what's going to be different about this? Because you spoke about 2020 happening, COVID, things changing. So is there going to be a different skates, a different fabric to the show? So yeah, I just wanted to find out what's going to be different about this particular festival.
As opposed to?
As opposed to the regular at the bars, on the Saturdays,
Oh, wow. What can you know? I mean, that's like saying what's going to be the difference between a training session and a World Cup match. Do you get what I'm saying? They both have their place. They're both wonderful, you know. But there's something that happens when you bring together some of the finest comedians. I don't know if you've seen this man on a stage before. If you have, you've probably lost some parts of your body because of how loud you were laughing and how painful it was. But there's something that happens when you combine comedians together as well, like that becomes particularly special and unique. You know what I mean? And the show itself starts to take on a life of its own. So as we get closer and closer to the shows and the days, it's current, you know? So anything that's happening in the world will be involved in our show in some way, shape, or form. So you never know. Iran could be there. If Iran is still around, it'll be there. You never know. You know, the comedians themselves, we're all interacting with each other in some way, shape, or form. So the show is also like taking on a life of its own, you know? And then the scale of it is something that you can't get on, as you say, a regular Saturday when you just go together. There's something about the scale of the show that changes completely. When you get 80 people or when you get 8,000 people, it changes into something that really brings it alive. You know, like remember when Chris Brown was flying there at FNB? If he did that with 80 people, it wouldn't be the same. It wouldn't, you know, when you fly, imagine if he came flying here. Now it'd just be like, where's our Chris? Like, it's not like special. Don't ruin this. No, I said it's not as special, but when you fly over 8,000 people, it has a different gravity to it. And so I think that's part of what we're doing as well. We're trying to bring the scale back to this thing. And we have a few surprises in store. We won't tell you the running order, of course, because now, I mean, that's, as the coach says, revealing the game plan before the game. You know, what we're doing here is announcing that the game is going to be commencing.
Yeah. 3 more. And we wrap it up.
On the Sunday Times.
I did hear that I'm beside you.
For each of you, both the captain and the coach, what are the specific acts that you kind of have noticed locally that, you know, VSF is to see once this rolls out? And what are these particular acts that you specifically like we're going to see bring to South Coast comedy?
Nice.
Which I like the ones that we've chosen. One of my favorites is Tabitha Trouble. The country doesn't know Tabitha Trouble. Tabitha Trouble is consistent for the past decade. Right? So as Chazal said, these are the guys who try to beat these opportunities too. Not guys who will be doing stand-up for like a year. Tabitha Trouble is a grinder. Pasi Asada is only 26 and he's doing stand-up since he was 16. So these are the guys that we need to bring to the fore to show the variety we have of comedians in this country. Some of the best comedians in the world are from here. Kate Poison. Casey. No, but I did say Jolene. I don't mind speaking English. But coach. I'm coach. I'm a packers in our YouTube.
No, South Africa has a rich pool of talent when it comes to stand-up. I think my plea is to audiences, don't wait for the big shows first, support and go to clubs and make comedians funny again. Because I think, like you mentioned, because what I'm looking forward to the most is in a lineup, if I can watch the show from backstage.
Yeah,
I know it's a good lineup.
That's what we loved.
And I've watched you perform all over the world in arenas, and I love the version that you are when you're home. The swag that you have, the throwaways that you have, the fact that you can dip into a local language and just feel at home again is what I'm looking forward to the most, because I've experienced you in so many ways. And we always have this conversation. The part of him that I experience in the car when we're hanging out, and I'm like, you guys are in for a treat, because I think over time you kind of put people in a box and think they're a certain way, but the versatility that you possess is what made you one of the best in the world. And I think I want them to experience that version, the car version, and I think they're in for a treat in this tour, and that's what we want to do. To somehow get inside our heads like you do with the podcast, and just kind of understand what makes us laugh, and what makes us laugh is what South Africa is, and what molded us and shaped us, right? Yeah, it's a deep matter.
Second last, the question.
My ask is
Okay, so my second lot that we asked.
so my ask is, with the 3 major cities that you guys have mentioned, are you gonna be improving the local acts in the 3 cities as well?
That's the goal. That is the goal. Yes.
Yeah, and it's you're a very funny comedian. Yeah, and if you don't know, you're doing behind. She's very funny, all the way from Durban. Also, be very class. Cool. Okay, where the boss get paid. Yeah, park art grinder.
Hi, Kumin Hamalebe from East 24. I just wanted to find out if this is like a once-off and then that's it, or is it going to be like recurring every year, and is leadership at the top likely to change? Or is it just going to be the same?
You're already asking about leadership. Guys, when the country has been through PTSD, you can see it here, the people, eh? We are announcing something, is this going to carry on? You just like in therapy, they'll be like, this is abandonment fear. She's like, guys, will I ever see you again? Is this the last time I'll ever see you? And also, when will leadership change? You just met the leadership and you're asking, when will the leadership change? We just got here and you're like, so ni hapa nini? And you are the next ones coming in. Hey.
Let me answer your question with hope. So my first hope is that we intend to be here. Nothing is promised, but we hope and we intend to be here, and we hope to continue being part of South Africa's comedy journey, right? To enrich the comedians and to enrich the audience, to have people in the same space enjoying each other's company, which I think is valuable, and we take that for granted in society. As for the second part, my dream and my goal is to have the quote-unquote leadership change. But more importantly, it's not to have the leadership change, it's to inspire and create new leaders to do their thing as well. Do you know what I mean? When I look at some of the young comedians who are blowing up on their own platforms now, I remember a time when they weren't, doing it. But now when I look at like Boom Pop Pops and all of these guys with their podcast and, some of the biggest platforms in the country, what I love seeing is that they've made themselves their own leaders of their own thing. Yeah. And so I don't think we're in a space where we're looking to like change leadership. No, we're trying to grow leadership who will then go on. So then the next announcement that's going to come out is going to be somebody saying, hey, here's our festival. People forget how many comedy festivals there used to be in South Africa, by the way. Yeah. We used to have a constant flow. And we had some of the best comedy festivals where internationals would trade to come. They'd be like, yo, guys, I want to come. Please, can I come to South Africa? Please, can I be part of this comedy festival? And we're not the only country that was hit. From Canada to Australia, you name it, countries were hits. comedy never recovered, live performing never recovered, if you think about it, you know, and slowly we're growing that again. I think music has led the way. Yeah, we're really grateful. We've seen people now coming back to live performances, coming back to live venues and sharing the same space. And so in comedy, we're trying to do the same thing. But our goal, we don't want to be the only show in town. Yeah. We want to do our show and we want to bring people on who are going to amaze you, who you're going to fall in love with, that even become their biggest fan. And that over time, they're going to lead you on to their show and then lead you on to the next show, lead you on to the next show. The same way both Celeste and Julie did. I remember when Celeste was first coming out, people were like, oh, she's going to be part of the thing. No, she is a thing. And that's the goal, is to have more and more people who create their own worlds that they'll be leading. So yeah, whether we're here or not is irrelevant to me. As long as comedy continues, we're all having a good time.
Yeah, I think one of the downfalls of social media comedic fame is it primed the audiences not to embrace oddity or being an oddball. So people started chasing perfection, and comedy or stand-up comedy has always been a game of the oddball.
That's true.
When we first started comedy, all we wanted to do was avoid having a normal job. I mean, all of us here, and normal jobs when we started doing stand-up. And our main goal was not to go to the normal job and just do stand-up. And the oddballness of it all was when we started doing commercials, actors were frowning upon us. You know, they were very, what are you guys doing here? We couldn't be featured in movies or in any other thing. And comedy started becoming popular because the average citizen of this country started embracing the oddball. You know, so we want the audiences that you guys represent to start embracing the oddballs. If someone is doing something that is unique, that's how you support the arts. I mean, in Japan, they're doing that. They were like, let's hold off on academia and let's support the arts. We need more artists to create buildings, to create streets, posters, and all the things that enrich people's lives after they're achieved a certain way. So I think the biggest message from me to you guys is embrace the oddball more so we can, like I said, cultivate more stand-up comedians and artists that can go out there, just try and have the courage just to try.
Thank you. Captain advice. We're all good.
Yeah.
And that is high.
Thank you for coming out. Yeah, buddy. We appreciate your time. Yeah, appreciate your efforts.
Awesome. Thank
Yeah,
you.
thank you so much. Thank you for capturing our good side.
Who's our sponsor again, Coach?
Safari.
Oh, wow. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
If you didn't know, now you know. So please, guys, if you guys join us, please, for some nibbles and lunch at the La Chula. How do I pronounce it? La Chula. La Chula. Yes, sir. La Chula. Of course, I have already so you like it.
So then say it in Kosa.
La Chula. La Chula. La Chula, big enough. The life, per second, you turn life. So let's meet there and have a savannah and something to eat. Are we good?
Yeah, yes. Thanks, everybody.
They're good.
Good.